Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
Yes.
You may take your seat. Please speak loudly and clearly for the jurors. You may examine the record.
Yes, sir. Perfect. Thank you. Please say your name and spell your name.
My name is James Geiger, Geiger.
Sir, where do you live?
I live at 2122 Trescott.
How long have you lived at that residence?
It's getting pretty close to 50 years now, I think 48 or 49.
All right. I want to take you back to July 18th of 2024. Now I've got an ad on me. Do you recall something unusual that happened that day? I'm sorry, I said 2024, 2014, sir. You know what case we're here about. Do you remember what happened on that date?
Yes, I do.
All right. Could you please tell our jurors how something unusual first got your attention?
It was a Friday morning, about 10:30. My wife and I were sitting in our living room looking out towards Trescott Drive out to the street. And as we were sitting there, we were doing something with our iPads, and we heard a noise, a popping, loud sound, bang sound. And we immediately got up and walked to the front. We have a big picture window, walked up to see if we could determine what had happened and where it had come from. We weren't sure it was to the right or to the left. And
All right, let me pause you right there and show you a couple photographs that I have as marked as states 1, 2, and 3.
okay.
Do you recognize these photographs,
Yes,
sir?
I do.
Are these fair and accurate photographs of your residence at that time, as well as the view from the window you've described?
Yes, it's true.
Judge, at this time, I ask to admit 1 through 3 and publish.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
States 1 through 3 are admitted.
If we could publish states 1, please. All right, sir. So if you could just explain, give me that pointer, please. What we're looking at in this photo, and I've got a pointer here. If that's of any assistance to you, push the middle button, you get a red dot. You don't have to use it. Oh, if you are going to use it, though, use it on the big screen, please, sir. All right, so just describe what we're looking at in this photo, states 1.
This is taken from Trescott Drive. The house on the right is my house, and the house on the left was Danny's house.
Okay, and the bay window that you've described, is that what is pictured in this portion of the photo right here? Yes, sir.
That's correct.
So publish states 2, please. Sir, is this the view from that window?
Yes,
All
this
right.
is what I saw as I looked out.
Okay, and the driveway that we can see there on the right side of the window, is that Dan Markel's driveway?
Yes, it is.
All right, so you've described that something got your attention. Can we have states 3, please?
Well, as I mentioned, I wasn't sure where the noise had come from, and I looked to the left and to the right, and as I looked to the right, there was a car that was rapidly backing out of the driveway and immediately headed down in that direction towards Benton Road. It caught my attention because it seemed to be going so fast. And I noticed what it looked like. and that caught my attention, although quite frankly, it was out of the corner of my eye. It appeared to be a Prius, a light-colored Prius, maybe silver or white.
Okay. So if something got your attention, what was that?
Well, that was what got my attention, and then
Was the vehicle itself?
excuse me?
Was the vehicle itself or some noise preceded you seeing the vehicle?
Well, initially, we had heard this loud noise, which we weren't exactly sure it was. It could have been a gunshot. We weren't sure. And then when I saw the car back out, that prompted me then to walk next door. There had been in the neighborhood a few break-ins, burglaries, and my first thought was that somebody was trying to break into the Markel house. And so I went out the front door and walked across over to Danny's house to see if anything had been damaged, maybe tried to be broken into the garage or something.
Yes, sir. When you looked out, you said you saw the car back out and then exit toward Benton Road. Would that be going this direction to the right of the photograph or toward the left of the photograph?
It would be towards the right.
So out this way. And you said you walked over there just to sort of look around, make sure everything was okay. What did you see?
As I approached his garage, I noticed that the garage door was open. His car was inside, and the motor was running. And so I thought then, well, I guess so much for a burglary. I don't think that's happened if Danny's there. So I turned around and walked back to my house.
Okay. What happened next?
After that, I can't tell you why, but I just stood at my front window and looked out and waited for a few minutes, maybe 3 or 4, up to 5. And for some reason, it just didn't quite seem right. Danny hadn't backed out. And I thought by this time he should have backed out of his driveway, and he didn't. And so I said to my wife, I think something just seems wrong. I'm going to walk back over. And so I did that.
All right. And what did you see when you got over there?
Excuse me?
What did you see when you got over there the second time?
Well, when I went back the second time, I noticed that the garage door was still up. The car was still running. And this time I thought, maybe I better walk on into the garage. He's probably in the driver's seat. He's probably on the cell phone talking, but I just wanted to make sure everything was okay.
Yes,
And
sir.
so I walked into the actual driveway then, and I saw that the window, the driver's side window, had been shattered, and I stepped on glass at that same time. As I looked inside, I saw a bloody head, and the head was slowly moving back and forth, rolling back and forth, left to right. And I hollered immediately, "Danny, what happened?" And I didn't get any response other than the head rolling. And so I hollered again, Danny, what's happened?" Still nothing. And at that point, I knew that I had to get the emergency medical team there as quickly as I could. I reached into my pocket to pull out my cell phone, which is where I normally keep it, and it wasn't there. And I thought, gee, I've left it back on the couch at the house. So I quickly dashed back to the house, got the phone, and called 911.
How many minutes do you estimate elapsed between the time you saw the Prius backing out, or really I should say the time you heard the loud bang, to the time that you were able to reach 911?
Less than 10 minutes, more than 5 minutes, somewhere in there, I would say.
I'm going to approach and show you what I've marked as State's Exhibits 4, and then I also have 6 and 7. This is number 4. And I'll draw your attention to some initials on number 4, and then also 6 and 7.
Mm-hmm.
Do you recognize these photos?
Yes, I do.
All right, Judge, at this time, I'd ask to move into evidence 6 and 7.
Any objection?
No objection.
States 6 and 7 are admitted.
Publish State 6, please.
You may.
Sir, is this how the vehicle was positioned when you went over there and found Mr. Markel so badly injured?
Yes, that looks correct.
Published state 7, please. Was the doors to the vehicle are open in this photograph? Were they open or closed when you went over?
No, they were all closed.
Okay, closed, and the only window that was damaged was that the driver's side window?
That's the only one I saw. That's, if there were some others, I didn't look at any other windows. I just simply saw the driver's side that was completely shattered.
All right, yes, sir. And State's Exhibit 4, is this consistent with the type of vehicle that you observed in the driveway backing out that day?
Yes, it was, although I didn't quite see that angle.
Okay. Judge, at this time, I'd ask to introduce States 4.
Objection to States 4.
No objection.
Admitted at this time.
All right, and you described it as a light-colored Prius. You weren't exactly sure of the color, maybe white, maybe silver, right?
Yeah, silver came to mind first, I guess, but certainly a light colored vehicle.
I'm gonna approach and show you State's Exhibit 5. Recognize States 5?
Yes,
Is that Mr. Markel?
yes, it is.
All right, may I introduce States 5, Your Honor?
No objection. No, sir.
States 5 is admitted.
Publishing States 5. What did you know about Mr. Markel?
Well, this occurred in 2014, and Danny and Wendy were newlyweds and had moved in about 5 years earlier than that. They moved next door. We were not particularly close to either one. We would see them occasionally out on the street. The memorable thing, and the other neighbors would tell you, is that when they first moved in, they had a housewarming event and they invited all the neighbors in, and we attended it. That was our first time to see them and visit them. They seemed like a nice young couple, and but after that, we weren't particularly close.
Did they have a couple little children living there?
Well, when they first moved there, they didn't, but after a year or two, they had a first child and then later a second child.
All right, and at the time that Mr. Markel was shot, had his wife, Wendy, moved out? Had they separated?
Yeah, we had understood that they were going through a divorce, and Wendy had left, and after that, we rarely saw Danny, and I don't think we ever saw the kids either, but
Were you familiar with Mr. Markel's profession?
yes, I knew that he was an attorney. Both of them were, and they were connected with the FSU Law School, I believe, but I didn't know their exact positions there.
Yes, sir. Publish 4 again, please. Are you able to tell the jurors anything about the occupants of this vehicle on that day?
No, I only saw it just briefly, and to notice what kind of car it was. I couldn't tell you who was inside. The windows were dark as far as I could see. I didn't even know if it was 2-door or 4-door. I just didn't see anything like that.
During the time that you were present at the scene of the shooting, did Mr. Markel ever regain consciousness or ever say anything that you heard?
No, I never heard him say anything. The only notion was that his head kept rolling back and forth during the 911 call, which it took forever to try to get the emergency vehicle there, the emergency medical team. They would occasionally ask if he was still breathing. And I would walk back up into the garage and his head was moving still. And I said, well, his head's moving. So I assume he's still breathing.
Yes, sir. Have you had an opportunity to review that recorded call that you made to 911 that day?
Yes, I have.
All right. And was it a fair and accurate recording of that call?
Yes.
All right, Judge, at this time, I'd ask to move into evidence states 88.
An objection.
No objection.
States 88 is admitted.
May I publish?
Go ahead.
What's your emergency?
It's right next door at my house, which is 2122 Trescott Drive.
Can you repeat that for verification?
2122 Trescott Drive, T.
Okay, the phone number you're calling from?
I'm calling from 850-2.
Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
We heard a loud bang and a car pulled away from next door. I came over and looked in, the garage door was up. And I thought the gentleman was backing out, and I went back to my house, but he never backed out. And I came back over, and his driver's side window is shattered, and he's battered, and can't answer. He's inside. I don't know if somebody tried to shoot him, or if he shot himself, or what, I don't know.
And it was at this location, correct?
Right next door. I'll give you mine. I don't know his address. It's next door.
Okay.
He didn't send an ambulance in a hurry. EMG. He's still alive. He's moving.
Okay. What's going on with it?
I don't know. The driver's side window is all bashed in. He's inside. The car is running, and he's got blood all over his head. He's not responding to me. That number, by the way, is 211-21.
All right, that's the first few minutes of a 14-minute call. Is that how long it took them to get somebody to you?
Seemed to me a lot longer,
Seemed like 14 hours, didn't it?
long time.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Cross-examination for Mr. Geiger. Mr. Geiger, you may step down, sir. Is he released from his subpoena? Will anyone need to recall him for any purpose?
He's released, Your Honor.
Have a good day, sir. Please call your next witness.
State calls David.
Okay, so we have witness number 1, which is typical. I think he testified first in all of the trials. So that doesn't surprise me there. So they can get that 911 call in. I do agree that some of these things, the crime happened, right? Oh, mom is leaving out. Oh, wow. Good morning, the 13th juror. How are you?
Please raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth? I do. You may take your seat. Please speak loudly and clearly for the jurors.
Sir, please introduce yourself and spell your name.
David Sims, SIMS,
How are you? Go ahead.
retired sergeant from Tallahassee Police Department,
How long were you with Tallahassee Police Department?
28 years.
Okay. And were you employed with them back in 2014?
Yes,
Did you respond to a scene in response to a 911 call 2116 Trescott Drive on July 18th of 2014?
yes, I did.
Is that location in Leon County?
Yes, it is.
All right. And do you know what time you were dispatched to the call?
I was not dispatched. I was actually at the station working on paperwork, and I heard the call go out, so I just responded.
Okay. And were you the first or?
First on scene.
You were first on scene.
Yes,
And did you make contact with Mr. Geiger, the neighbor?
yes, I did.
And did Mr. Geiger indicate something going on in the garage next door to his residence?
Yeah, he said his neighbor. He thinks it was his neighbor in there, and he heard a loud noise, and there was broken glass in his car.
All right, I'm gonna publish states 7, please. It's in, right? Yeah. Has the vehicle been moved from the position it was in when you first arrived?
No,
Okay, other than the doors being opened, right?
Correct.
Okay. When you got there, was the vehicle running?
Yes, it was.
All right. What did you do when you first arrived and observed the vehicle?
I walked up to the driver's side window. Mr. Geiger had told me that the homeowner's name was Daniel, and I saw someone in the car, and I spoke his name and said, Daniel. There was no response, and I got a little closer and found that the driver's side window was broken kind of at an angle. Some of the glass was in, some had come out, but there was also a small rounded spot in that glass that was still in there. I said, Daniel, again, no response. He was slumped over and kind of gasping for air, and it was just a sucking sound. I noticed that he had a set of eyeglasses. Half of a set of eyeglasses was laying in his lap. He had a cell phone in his left hand. He had a business card in his right hand. I walked around to the other side of the car. Well, first I reached in and unlocked the door, and I went around to the other side, and I opened the door and reached in and shut off the car, so the car wasn't still running. And then I noticed the other half of the eyeglasses laying on the floorboard of the car. I
Let me
removed
pause you there and approach and show you what I marked as states 8 through 10.
Yes. Yes.
Are these 3 photographs fair and accurate representations of how the vehicle appeared that day?
Yes.
Judge, I'd asked to introduce states 8 through 10.
No objection.
States 8 through 10 are admitted.
Publish 8, please. All right, can you? I got a pointer. That's what you're talking about as far as the way the window was.
Part of it had broken out, part of it was still intact, but right there looked like a little rounded area.
All right, and was this void, large void that we see in the window there before the door was opened?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so you said you were able to reach in and unlock.
Yeah, I reached
Car.
in, the door was closed. I reached in through that broken area, unlocked the car, and then ran around and entered from the other side to pull out, turn off the car and pull out the keys.
All right, and during this time was EMS already en route?
Yeah, I could hear them. I could hear them coming down the street. They were almost there.
Okay, and were life-saving efforts made to try to help Mr. Markel?
Yes, when I was on the passenger side, I pulled out a gym bag or something that was in there and pulled it out and set it on the ground so they can make better entry into the vehicle to extract him.
Okay. And did he ever regain consciousness or say anything during the time you were
Not
there?
in my presence.
All right. Publish 9, please. Publish 10, please. All right. Do you see the half part of the eyeglasses there in that photograph?
Yes.
Could you indicate with your pointer?
Yeah, right there.
And is that where you observed them, or had they fallen out?
They had fallen out. One was in his lap and then one was on the floorboard on the driver's side.
All right. And what about the cell phone that we see pictured to the left of the
That
eyeglasses?
was in his left hand.
Was there a safety search done of the house?
Yes, after EMS was removing him, then myself and a couple other officers, we took the keys that were in the car. The person door from the garage into the house was locked. We unlocked that, did a search of the house, found no one, nothing amiss.
Any indication that this was a burglary, a robbery?
No,
Any obvious signs of a struggle?
no.
No further questions.
Cross-examination for Mr. Sims.
No question, Judge.
You may step down, Mr. Sims.
This
Yes.
witness is released, Your Honor.
Thank you. Please call your next witness.
Joanne Maltese.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
Yes, I do.
You may take your seat. Please speak loudly and clearly for the jurors.
Please introduce yourself and spell your name.
My name is Joanne Maltese. Joanne, Joanne, and Maltese, Maltese.
Are you employed, ma'am?
Yes, I am.
Are you employed as law enforcement, in law
No,
enforcement?
I am retired Tallahassee Police Forensic Specialist.
How long have you been retired from, it's Tallahassee Police Department, right?
Yes, a little over 8 years.
What were your duties when you were employed there?
Duties as a forensic specialist is the documentation, collection, and preservation of evidence at a crime scene.
How long did you do that type of work?
Done that work for probably 15 years.
Okay. And were you doing it back on July 18th of 2014?
Yes.
As part of your job, did you respond to 2116 Trescott Drive on that date?
Yes, I did.
Right. And what was your job once you arrived at that particular scene?
That particular day, I was called to document and collect evidence at a crime scene.
Publish 10, please. Is this the scene that you're referencing?
Yes, it is.
All right, I'm going to approach and show you states 11 through 17 as well. Just have you look through those and tell me if you recognize them.
Yes, I do.
How do you recognize them?
I took these photographs at the scene.
All right, Judge, at this time, I'd ask to move into evidence states 11 through 17.
No objection.
11 through 17 are admitted.
Publish 11, please. Publish 12, please. Did you collect the eyeglasses shown in State's Exhibit 12?
Yes, I did.
That appears to be half of a pair of eyeglasses. Did you collect both halves?
Yes, I did.
I'll show you what I've marked as states 121 and 122. Do you recognize those?
Yes, I do.
Are those the two halves of eyeglasses collected from this crime scene?
Yes, they are.
Judge, at this time, I'd ask to move in evidence states 122 and 123.
Any objection? States 122 and 123 are admitted.
Publish the next exhibit, please. Did you collect this eyeglass lens?
Yes, I did.
Where was it located?
I believe that one was the floorboard of the driver's area.
Was there another piece of eyeglass lens also collected by
Yes,
you
there
that
was.
day?
Yes, there was.
Okay, where was that piece found?
That was the other optical was on the driveway, or I'm sorry, the garage floor right below the driver's area.
Showing you 123 and 124. Are these the two pieces of lens that you collected that day?
Yes.
Move into evidence 123 and 124.
Any objection? No, Your Honor. States 123 and 124 are admitted.
Did you take any swabs or attempt to get any fingerprints from the scene?
Yes, I did.
And what efforts were made on those fronts?
I processed the entire exterior of the vehicle for fingerprints. There was an area that was lifted, but it did not have fingerprints of value to compare. As far as the swabbing, all of the exterior and interior door handles, as well as a phone that was collected, and the doorknob from the garage to the interior of the house.
What were the results of those efforts?
Those I would not know. It'd be sent to FDLE lab for analysis.
Did you find any fingerprints of value to send to FDLE lab?
No, I did not.
Publish states 14, please. Approaching with states 125. Do you recognize 125?
Yes, I do.
What is this item?
This is going to be a brown wallet with its contents that were found in the glove box of the vehicle.
All right, and did the wallet contain Dan Markel's driver's license?
Yes, it did.
And in the exhibit, there's no cash, but there's some cash pictured in the photograph.
Yes.
Was there cash that was seized as well?
Yes, there was.
All right, so based on this, didn't appear there was any effort to take Mr. Markel's belongings.
Correct.
Okay, any evidence that the house was broken into or anything was taken from the house?
Not that I could determine.
Publish state 16, please. And 17. And then back to 16, if you would. What efforts were made to document this? What is it that we're looking at?
We're looking at the front driver's door window that was shattered with a hole in it.
Okay. And what did you do to try to document this?
The glass was very fragile because it was broken. So prior to doing anything to it, besides fingerprinting, I would have put clear tape on both sides, the interior and the exterior, just to hold it in place for transportation and collection.
I'm approaching with what I've marked as states 126. Is this the glass that you were able to remove from the vehicle?
Yes.
Is it in the same or substantially the same condition as when you seized it?
Yes.
Move into evidence states 126.
There you go. States 126 is admitted.
Publish. And the glass evidence, is that consistent with the gunshot?
Yes, it is.
All right, did you, as part of your job, have an occasion to photograph Wendy Adelson's vehicle?
Yes, I did.
Was that done the same day that you collected this other evidence?
Yes, it was.
Where did you photograph her vehicle?
Her vehicle was towed to the Tallahassee Police Department.
I'm going to approach and show you what I've marked as states exhibits 18 through 21. Do you recognize 18 through 21?
Yes, I do.
Are those the photos you took of Ms. Adelson's vehicle?
Yes.
Move into evidence 18 through 21.
Any objection? No, Your Honor. States 18 through 21 is admitted.
Publish states 18, please. Publish 19. Publish 20. What is this item?
This was on the front passenger seat of the vehicle, and it is a bottle of alcohol and a receipt.
All right, and did you take a closer photo of the receipt? States 21, please.
Yes.
And what does that show about when the alcohol was purchased?
On 7/18 of 2014 at 12:49 from ABC Fine Liquor and Spirits, or Fine Wine and Spirits.
Did you also go to the hospital?
Yes, I did.
What were you asked to do at the hospital?
Document and collect any evidence.
At the time that you responded to the hospital, was Mr. Markel deceased or still alive?
He was still alive.
I'm going to approach and show you what I've marked as states exhibits 22 through 24. Do you recognize these exhibits?
Yes, I do.
How do you recognize them?
I took those photographs at the hospital.
Are they fair and accurate photos of how Mr. Markel looked that day?
Yes.
Move into evidence, states exhibits 22, 23, and 24, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
States 22, 23, and 24 are admitted.
Publish 22, please. This is how Mr. Markel appeared,
Yes.
and this was done on the 18th.
Yes.
Mr. Markel appeared,
Yes.
and this was done on the 18th.
Yes.
Cross-examination.
No questions, Your Honor.
Very well. Ms. Maltese, you may step down.
This witness is excused, Your Honor.
Please call your next witness.
The state calls Dr. Clark.
Dr. Clark, please raise your right hand, sir. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide will be the truth?
Yes, I do.
You may take your seat. Thank you. Please speak loudly and clearly.
Sir, please introduce yourself and spell your name.
I'm Dr. Anthony J. Clark, Anthony J. Clark, Clark.
How are you employed?
I'm currently employed as Associate Medical Examiner for the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, Division of Forensic Science in the Central Regional Office in Macon, Georgia.
What are your duties there?
I work as an Associate Medical Examiner. I perform what's called the autopsy and forensic autopsies and death investigations.
Was there ever a time that you worked here in Tallahassee as an assistant medical examiner?
Yes.
What time periods did you do that?
It was from 2007 to 2023.
All right. And how many autopsies have you performed during the course of your career?
It's over 8,000 now.
And what is the education and training that you have that qualifies you to do that type of work?
I obtained my Bachelor of Science degree from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. I did 2 years of animal research before moving on to Jefferson Medical College in Philadelphia. I graduated from the college and then traveled over to New Britain General Hospital in New Britain, Connecticut, and did a 2-year general surgical internship. I then went to the Hartford Hospital in Hartford, Connecticut, did 4 years of anatomic and clinical pathology. I then traveled from that program down to Atlanta, Georgia, where I did a 2-year forensic pathology fellowship at the Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office in association with Emory University. I am board certified in anatomic and forensic pathology. I have medical licensures both in the state of Georgia and Florida.
Have you ever testified as an expert in the area of forensic pathology?
Yes, I have.
How many times?
Several hundred times.
Tender Dr. Clark as an expert in the area of forensic pathology, Your Honor.
Does the defense wish to voir dire the witness?
No, Your Honor.
Is there any challenge to his ability to provide an opinion?
No, Your Honor.
Members of the jury, the witness will be permitted to testify before you today in the form of an opinion in the fields of both medicine and forensic pathology. You may continue.
Doctor, did you conduct the autopsy of Dan Markel?
Yes, I did.
When was that conducted?
We performed it on July 19, 2014, and we started at 11:55 hours.
Where was the autopsy conducted?
At that time, we were in the Tallahassee Memorial Hospital morgue.
Did you take photos as part of your autopsy?
Yes, I did.
Would use of those photos assist you in your testimony?
Yes, they would.
Would they assist the jury in understanding your testimony?
Yes, they would.
Searching with states 25 through 34. Take a moment to look through those and let me know if you recognize them.
Yes, ma'am.
Are they fair and accurate photographs that were taken during the autopsy of Mr. Markel?
Yes, they are.
Moving the evidence states 25 through 34, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
States 25 through 34 noted at this time.
Publish 25, please.
Before you publish, if the parties can briefly approach. A brief break before we continue with the examination of Dr. Clark. The bailiff will take you to the jury room. Mr. Zellman, Ms. Fulford, if your client needs to use the restroom, this would be a good time to do so.
Gosh, is she gonna make it? Yikes. I don't know what's going on. She is having a hard time over there. I guess I would have thought that she would have seen these photos or something to the effect prior to the start of trial. It looks like they're going on a restroom break. But yeah, she is emotionally over there traumatized right now at this point in time. You think that the jury, do they see this like, you know, her reaction and things? Wow. Interesting. That's what I could tell you. Very interesting. I'm trying to figure out, let me see. Let's see here. I think it was good momentum break. Like in basketball, if a team is hot, you call the timeout. What'd you say? Right, Jason. Time out. We stuffing over the thing. Hey, okay, good morning. Time out, like foul. Somebody do something. Stop this right now. Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah, absolutely. Like they're getting the best of us. Let's go in here. Wow. Yikes. I know the jury got to be sitting up there like, and she looked like a librarian to me today. Like, can I please check out some books, Miss Adelson? Like, can I check out some books? Maybe, maybe not. Oh, wow. Yeah, and it looked like the wow, I tell you. So this is kind of like going in the order that we would expect it to go into. Let me look and see. I'm gonna see how he gonna run his courtroom. So I'm gonna go back to our jury, right? So I'm almost sure that I left off on number. I think it was number 35. I put them as neutral. I have it as a female. And I have that she was married. And then juror number 36 also has as a female. She's a fiscal specialist, a single mom. Her dad and her sister were charged. So I guess she would be more like on the defense side, in my opinion. So just to kind of give a quick recap, I have on the jury 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 males. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 females. 14 jurors. So that means we have 12 jurors that will be seated and will decide. And we have 2 alternates, which is really strange because I thought that they were going for 3 alternates. So we'll see how that plays out. Hopefully they don't run through the juror. But the one that I found most interesting is juror number. Let me get the one where his wife was shot. Juror number 29, it's a male, and he an engineer, and his wife was shot. I was really surprised that he made it. Is anybody else surprised about that one? I would have thought they would have tried to keep him off. Yeah, only 2 are alternates. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, I thought that was weird that he made it. No, I don't know. Both sides chose them because what they have is the opportunity to strike. Only fan, at least from my understanding on what they do when they do the jury selection, and sometimes the judge allows you to use your strikes for any reason, and then after that, part is done, it's kind of like you have to have a like you can't just decide that you don't want certain people on the jury. So I think you say they both have to. I don't know. I thought that they have so many strikes that they can get rid of whoever they want to get rid of, right? But I think at least with the last trial that I seen, like they wanted certain jurors off and the judge wouldn't allow them to have them off. And I'm assuming that the defense didn't want those jurors on there for a certain reason. So I don't think they had to want that person on there. I think that they don't have a just cause to take that person off, then that person can be good. Okay, therapist says they may not like them all, but they have to agree that they have agreed on the jury. Okay. Well, I don't know. I guess they agreed. Donna didn't look like she was ready to agree yesterday. Like when the judge asked, do the defense agree on the jury? She looked at her attorney and was like, I don't know. And after the jury left out and they said that, she started crying. Yeah. So I don't know if she agreed. Like, I don't know if she agreed. Like, when I was looking at it and I was thinking about their backgrounds and their situation and just trying to figure out like who I would think would go for the defense, like the only people that I kind of like pulled out of that I think that will go for the defense side. Now, this is just me. You know, I'm nobody. I don't even know. I think 1 and 2, 11. So 1 is a male, 2 is a male, 11 is a male. And those is the ones that I thought that would be okay for the defense. You know, that's just my thing. And it was so funny because when I was listening to everybody's the repeat and trying to figure out if they were male or female, each juror, I was like, when I got down the list, I'm like, oh my gosh, do we have any women? Like it took forever to get down the list to get to a woman. Gosh, okay. And I was looking at 24. This person was pulled over. Their plate came back stolen in another state. They stated that they had guns drawn on them. And that's when they figured out that it was from another state. It was, and they stated that it was not a fun thing, and it was a bad experience. So wow. And they made the actual seat. So that's one person. They were also questioned in regards to number 24. You ever made or received a personal call while you were around other people? What did you do so that the individuals didn't hear your conversation? Number 24 answer, usually I'll ask to be excused. You will walk away. That's the yes. Yes. So that was one of the questions that was posed to juror number 24. And their answer, oh, let me see. It looked like they hit him back in court. So, hey, Lulu, welcome. Yeah, I think she was, I don't know if it was crying over Dan or crying over his photos or her guilt, but Yeah, that had to be graphic for her to see. Okay, let me go ahead and put us back in the courtroom.
State, you may resume with your examination of Dr. Clark at this time.
Publishing 25. And doctor, you should have a pointer. All right, explain what we're looking at in states 25.
As part of the examination, particularly in gunshot wounds, we like to know whether the bullets are still in the body or how badly they are broken up, etc. So we do X-rays, and this is an X-ray of the head. You can see the top of the head here, the jaw, right side, left side, and these really bright spots here and here are the bullets that we recovered from this individual. They come out because they're very dense. The X-rays bounce off and turn them white here, just like bone. It's fairly dense. These are the bullets here, here, and here.
Publish states 26, please. How many bullets were in Mr. Markel's head?
There were 2 bullets in his head, and you can see on this one here that hit the left cheek, actually fragmented a little bit. And then we had a bullet inside the head, back to the left side, right side, excuse me, right side.
States 27. What are we looking at here, doctor?
This is actually the identification photograph of the individual. We like to get them cleaned up. We'll put the identifying tag underneath their chin, the case number, the date, and usually my initials. And you can see that there has been quite a bit of damage here, particularly in the left side of the face. We have a gunshot wound here that's labeled number 1 in the autopsy report. And this is number 2, labeled number 2 in the autopsy report.
By labeling them 1 and 2 respectively, are you opining that that's the order in which those shots were fired?
No, the numbering system in the autopsy report is just for me to discuss during the trial.
Publish 28, please. What does 28 show?
So this is what I call gunshot wound number 2. And you can see it's quite irregular. It's not a nice round hole you'd like to see, but the way it hit the bone, it caused a lot of damage and tearing in this area here. You can see that there's some what we call raccoon eyes or hemorrhage around the eyes. There's quite a bit of swelling going on here. Also in this area here, you see a lot of minor superficial abrasions that vary in size. Some are much bigger and some are smaller. You can see it's all over the cheek here, so and the ear and the side of the neck here. This is what we call pseudo stippling, and this usually happens after the bullet goes through a door or a window or hits concrete and causes those items, the glass or the wood or the concrete, to splinter and cause small particles to fall out, to shoot out and hit the individual's skin. So this isn't true stippling, which is due to gunpowder. We'll see an example of that in a minute. But so we have large areas of pseudo stippling around the left side of the face, the left side of the neck and ear.
So each of those small red injuries represents a piece of glass striking.
Piece of glass, yes, ma'am, or part of the bullet that fragmented off the main part of the bullet.
States 29, please. What does this one show?
Again, we're looking at the left side of the neck here. Here's the left ear. You can see that this pseudo stippling is quite extensive. Also, you'll see that there's kind of a purplish discoloration here because of where the bullet track went to. It caused a large amount of bleeding into the left side of the face, where you saw that huge distortion of the left side of the face, and then drain down into the neck.
States 30.
Okay, this is going to be gunshot wound number 1. It's right between the eyebrows, closer to the left eyebrow. Again, it is distorted. It's not a nice little round hole because of the shelf of bone that's there. It's called the glabella. So it causes an irregular entry wound. And now we're seeing a much finer area of stippling across the forehead here. This is much different from what we're seeing on the left side of the face. This is true stippling or gunpowder stippling from the barrel of the gun. It's directly.
How does firing a gun cause this pseudo stippling?
The stippling.
Sorry, stippling.
Okay, when the firearm is discharged, out of the barrel comes the bullet, of course, hot gases, soot, burning and unburned gunpowder. What causes the stippling is the burning and unburned gunpowder. It's actually it's a particulate that strikes the skin and abrades it. It doesn't burn it, but it hits it and abrades it, or scrapes it. So that usually with a handgun, we can see the stippling out to about 18 to 24 inches. This to me looks a lot closer than that. But all we're seeing is the stippling here.
So the presence of this evidence suggests that the muzzle of the gun was quite close to Mr. Markel's head when it was fired.
Yes, I'm thinking inches. Yes, ma'am.
States 31, please. What does this show?
Okay, this is giving you a perspective of the two gunshot wounds here. What I call labels 1, what is label 2, the pseudo stippling on the nose, the fine stippling on the forehead, the hemorrhage around the left eye, part of the raccoon eye pattern.
States Exhibit 32.
This is the left forearm, and what you see here is kind of a ring of soot, partial ring of soot here, and some stippling on the forearm here too.
What is that consistent with?
That to me is suggested that arm was up near the gun when it was discharged. That's at one point in time. And most likely the one gunshot wound that went to the center of the head here, that arm was up in a defensive type thing or a reaction type thing. And the soot, the stippling is actually not from the barrel, but when you're talking about a revolver, you have a cylinder where the bullets are. You have a space between the cylinder and the barrel. It's called a cylinder gap. And soot and gunpowder can come out of the cylinder gap and cause this kind of pattern.
So again, consistent with the firearm being very close to the victim?
That's correct.
And also, is it consistent with the victim at least having enough wherewithal of the impending danger to raise his arm in defense?
In my opinion, yes, ma'am.
Right. And you said that the number that you order the shots for purposes of your reports does not necessarily mean that's the order of the shots that were fired in this case. Do you have an opinion as to which shots were fired in what order?
Yes, after discussions with the investigators and looking at the scene photographs, the first shot went through the closed car window. So the first shot would have been to the left cheek area, which traveled from the left cheek just before the left ear, hitting soft tissues, fracturing the jaw, fracturing the left cheekbone. Again, this is maybe slightly incapacitating, maybe stunned him, but would not immediately put his lights out. Okay, so that is where all the pseudo stipplings coming from that glass shattering. Glass is not there anymore. The second shot is to the forehead, where the actual gunpowder can strike the skin, and the hand was raised somehow into the vicinity of that cylinder gap.
And that's the second shot is the one that was not survivable?
That's correct.
And was there any amount of medical attention that could have assisted Mr. Markel, say, if it had gotten there sooner?
Well, these are pretty devastating injuries, particularly the gunshot wound in the brain.
Did you collect the projectiles from Mr. Markel's head?
Yes, I did.
I'm going to show you States Exhibit 127 and 128. If you will publish 33, please. Ask if you recognize 127 and 128.
Yes, I do.
How do you recognize those?
These are the envelopes that we place these bullets in with the identifying marker labels and where they were from. Both one's from gunshot wound number 1 and one's from gunshot wound number 2.
Are they in the same or substantially the same condition as when you collected them?
They appear to be so, yes, ma'am.
Move into evidence 127 and 128, Your Honor.
States 127 and 128 are admitted.
And is this a photograph of one of these projectiles removed from Mr. Markel's head?
Yes, ma'am. This is the one from gunshot wound number 2 to the left cheek area. If you remember on the x-ray, it had kind of a barrel shape to it. I don't remember, but you see the barrel shape here.
And for the record, that was 33, now publishing 34. What does this show?
This
Would you
is
be able to turn it? upper left, maybe. Again. Thank you.
This is the bullet that we pulled from the right side of the brain. And the x-ray is getting a little pretty deformed. You can see that we taken one picture, one aspect of it here. Here's the identifying label.
What is meant by the term cause of death?
That is how that person died.
All right, and is it part of your job as assistant medical examiner to determine a cause of death?
Yes, ma'am.
And were you able to do that in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
What was the cause of death?
Got gunshot wounds of the face and head.
And what about manner of death? What's meant by that term?
Manner of death is how what were the circumstances that eventually led to the death.
And do you have an opinion as to the manner of death?
Yes, I do.
And what is it?
Homicide.
No further questions.
Cross-examination, Dr. Clark.
No, Your Honor.
Judge, this witness can be excused and the